Tiwatia. I thought he was a Sharjah champion, but looks like he's also a Mumbai Pune champion. What a player, man! 12 runs, two balls. I think Orient Smith also bowled a couple of slotted balls, but finishing like that, Sanjay Dubey. How did you enjoy that?
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we all mocked Gujarat so much when they bought Tewatia for 9 crores. He's already won them effectively 2 games out of three. So yeah, I mean, absolutely brilliant. You can say that the balls were right in the slot, and with this field set, you would expect them to bowl that right outside the off stump, etc. But yeah, to deliver that in crunch moment, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, we've not seen anything like that in IPL. In the last 2 3 years, no one's come close to finishing as Tewati has done.
Absolutely, man. And he's definitely a champion. But just as a recap, Punjab Kings versus Gujarat Titans. Punjab Kings batted first, 189 for 9. They were on course for 220 odd, according to me, but they lost way in the last 5 overs. And eventually, due to heroics of Chahar, got to 189. And 190 was the target for Gujarat Titans, where Shubman Gill, fantastic platform, and little cameo by Hardik Pandya. So Titans eventually won the game by 6 wickets. Fantastic last over. So let's rewind a little bit from a Punjab Kings perspective. Mayank Agarwal's tournament continues to be a disaster, but what is pleasant to see is Shikhar Dhawan coming into form and Liam Livingstone, 2 match in row.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam Livingstone batting. We always sort of worried that whether he would come good in the Indian conditions, and these are good batting wickets. He's got the best strike rate amongst anyone who's faced more than 50 balls for Rashid Khan. So he was trying to go after him. And at one point, obviously, when Shah Rukh Khan and Livingston were going well, they were 150 odd in 15 over. They should have got 210 at least, I would have thought. But both getting out the same over to Rashid Khan was probably the turning point. And although the tail end did get 25 odd runs for the last wicket partnership, they were always 10 runs short because we had 200 plus chased on the same ground with Lucknow and Chennai. It's a beautiful batting wicket. So yeah, they were 10 runs short, but considering they were 9 down for 160 odd, I think they did reasonably well to recover. But yeah, overall, Mayank Agarwal not batting as well as they would have expected him to is a worrying sign. Bairstow did not do well, so a few things to worry about. But yeah, they have the batting firepower.
And Vishak pointing it out about the youngsters performing, Sanjay. Sai Sudarshan in the Gujarat Titans. We also seen Arshdeep Singh bowling fantastically well. And also from Punjab Kings point of view, we saw Jitesh Sharma coming in, Vaibhav Arora. So what do you think about the youngsters capitalizing this season?
Absolutely the flavor of the season so far, and I think that's the trend that's going to continue. Even you had to look at just the last 2 overs of Gujarat's batting when Rabada bowling a no ball that ended up costly. Then Odin Smith when he bowled a dot ball and he could have easily just held the ball. He tried to run out the non-striker. Both of these are international players against someone like a Tewatia or Ayush Badoni yesterday, Tilak Varma. All these are great signs. It's a big headache for the selectors to try and pick right squad for the not just this World Cup but even future World Cups going ahead. But yeah, great signs. I think it's the international players who potentially have not done as well as a lot of the teams would expect. But yeah, the Indian youngsters have done phenomenally well.
Yeah. And Syed keeps pointing it out, Ishan Poral not getting a chance for Punjab. Who would they bring in place of Ishan Poral?
Yeah, I mean, Punjab, obviously, they're almost getting back to the ways of chopping and changing. I see Rajapaksa was dropped now. They've got Johnny Bairstow in. On the bench, they've got Ishan Paul. Obviously, I don't know whether they can get him instead of Vaibhav Arora. He's not got much chances, poor guy. But there's Rashid Dhawan as well. Sandeep Sharma played a game and then did not. So uh, Harpreet Brar is also there, a left arm bowler, very promising. for Punjab. So I think they've got too many choices. I think they have to quickly try and settle into a decent playing level. This is where someone like a KKR who got their top 11 sorted. They've not got too many choices, but they've got a super strong top 11. I think they're probably more consistent. With Punjab, I think you will have those days where they probably get 250, but also days where they probably have a big collapse. And their bowling is slightly inexperienced. Rabada is not the same bowler as a lot of people would have anticipated. So yeah, it is a tough gig for anyone coming in.
Yeah. And speaking of bowling for Gujarat Titans, Hardik Pandya surprisingly doing phenomenally good job because the bowling is Mohammad Shami, Lockie Ferguson, Rashid Khan, and Darshan Nalkande, who came in and took 2 wickets youngster. So Gujarat Titans seems to have a very good bowling combination, Sanjay.
Absolutely, and I'm very, very impressed with Hardik Pandya's captaincy. Not just because we are all been very harsh critic of Hardik Pandya. With the bat, he's phenomenal, but it is always whether he can come in as a bowler or not. He's done two things differently, which I've not seen. Maybe it would have happened in the past. Hardik Pandya opening the bowling, that's one thing, and also Rashid Khan coming in and bowling in the power play. He may not have got a wicket at that point in time, but SRH never used him in the power play. So using Rashid Khan that way is something different to what he's probably used to in all franchise cricket. And Hardik Pandya, it might be just the rub of the green or whatever it is, but seems to be clicking. A lot of things seems to be clicking for him. He's in decent form with the bat, bowling at 140 clicks, which is great sign for Indian cricket. And Shubman Gill batting the way it is. In the previous seasons, you would see him getting 30s, 40s at 120 strike rate, but now he's a different player almost, it seems.
Yeah. And we always thought KL Rahul and captaincy, KL Rahul and Anil Kumble. But looks like Mayank is going through the same trend as Punjab Super Kings. Like we've seen Glenn Maxwell going through the same problem. So is captaincy of Mayank a problem, or is it Punjab Kings thought process, think
Yeah,
tank?
it's probably a combination of a few things. Today's game they should have won. On most days they would win. Unlike the last seasons where they would falter while chasing, whether it's something to do with the setup or whatnot. But I would personally want them to have at least consistency in team selection. Back 10, 11 players and give them 3, 4 games, even if they are losing or not performing well. Because chopping and changing, look at their first teams, the first match playing 11 where they beat RCB versus now, there's at least 3 or 4 changes. So back players, and these are very similar conditions. It's not that you're going from north to south of the country. This is all within a couple of hundred kilometers. All the stadiums are. Back the players and then see how they progress. They look quite decent on paper, but again, it's trying to get the right combination. So whether it's Anil Kumble's influence or captaincy is new for Mayank Agarwal or whatever it is, I think these are not great signs for Punjab. I think they'll have to start winning games very quickly, otherwise they'll slide down very quickly on the table.
Anil Jain pointing it out, and I think Arshav Bogle consistently speaks about it when Punjab are batting. Understood that they want to go hammer on tongs, always go bang, 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 but somewhere in the middle, they should bring in a little bit of a smart cricket, doubles, triples, singles, or a last ball boundary. I think that's where they probably lost the match. I understand that Orient Smith over was terrible, but where Punjab probably lost the match is that 14th to 20th over, that crucial 5 to 15 extra runs.
Absolutely, and they pretty much lost that game. I think whatever happened subsequently is Punjab trying to catch up. When Livingstone got out to the last over of Rashid Khan, and then Shah Rukh Khan again, all they had to do is just play out that over, and they would have had at least 20-25 runs more, and they would have probably got 210 or something. So that's where, as you mentioned, a bit of smart cricket would probably help, and you would. A lot of these players have got a lot of money, so there is expectation. Say from a Shah Rukh Khan, he's no rookie now. He's got third or fourth season. Livingstone is gone for a lot of money, so we are expecting great things from him. So although it's a good knock, but it's not a match-winning knock, and it's something which Punjab will have to ponder. There would be someone who has to sort of bat sensibly rather than just everyone throwing the bat at everything.
Yeah. Syed mentions that Punjab holds the curse for close matches. And we've seen even that Dhoni, Dharamshala, qualifier. Dhoni came back from nowhere, and guess who was on the receiving end? It was Punjab. Vishal makes a fantastic point, and I did not think about it. What is it with Tiwati and West Indies bowlers from Punjab Kings? Cottrell and now Odin Smith. It's so funny, but yeah, Tiwati seems to be liking that Caribbean flavor. And I'll also add it to another comment or question somebody had asked, saying, is Orien Smith an overrated all-rounder? I feel that he's more of a batting all-rounder than a bowling all-rounder, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Sanjay.
Yeah, I think the recency bias, which we've seen so many times in IPL, any player doing well in say a Big Bash or any series which is just ended before the auction, Odin Smith doing reasonably well in some of the matches against India, that just sort of helps helps push their prices up, and creates a sort of um, some sort of what's the word I'm trying to look at, some sort of a come on, someone help me out. What am I thinking?
Sort of a user.
Image that they are probably better than what they actually are. They are not proven, and Indian conditions are difficult. These are, pressure games, huge money they're going for. So, yeah, Odin Smith, only time will tell. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll get more games. He looked quite dejected at the end of it. Yeah, if it's too early to say whether it's overrated or not, but we saw what happened with Cottrell not getting picked after that season. But Odin Smith, as you mentioned, I think he's got decent batting potential. Fifth, sixth bowling option, he's probably going to struggle in batting friendly conditions.
And Syed seems to be in top form after that Friday liquids going in. Will someone hold Orien Smith from 15th floor? It's funny but unfortunate comment. Um, the funny but unfortunate comment. Couple of things. Shubman Gill, how impressed are you with his transformation? KKR will be probably slightly disappointed for not retaining him, but fantastic transformation, Shubman Gill.
Yeah, Shubman Gill has to do two things. One is buy lots of rings for Tewatia, because this could easily have been a 96 in a losing cause. I think he batted really well until like 80 odd runs. I think he got 80 in 43 balls or something, and then the last 15, 16 runs he's got a run a ball. So maybe he should have closed the game out much earlier rather than just giving singles back to Hardik, who was new to the crease. So that's something which he'll probably learn. But this is a remarkable improvement to what we've seen in the last couple of years, where for KKR he would invariably have a decent power play, go at 120, 130, and then go out in 30. So this is his highest score, and this is great signs for him. I'm hoping, for the sake of Indian cricket and for the talent he possesses, that he would kick on from now on and have a big 600, 700 run breakout season.
Yeah. And youngsters for Punjab did pretty well, right? Vaibhav Arora and Arshdeep Singh opening the bowling. I think they did the job. They were at an economy of 8 and 7, and the required rate is number 9 or so. So Punjab has a lot to ponder. I think Gujarat Titans probably will think that they got lucky today, but they do have to figure that thing out, because you saw Hardik Pandya, it was his call of running David Miller when the ball was behind, but he went and got upset. But I think they have little kinks to work out for, but Gujarat Titans definitely are looking a pretty strong unit so far.
Very, very good signs for them, because a lot of the players we were not sure of when the auction happened. We were not sure whether Hardik Pandya is going to bowl or not. He's bowling well. He's in very good batting form. Shubman Gill, how he's going to perform? He's coming out and batting really well. Rahul Tewatia is not in great bowling form, leaked a lot of runs, but at least he's finished 2 games. So yeah, I mean, as long as the top 4, 5 people keep performing, and they've got a very good bowling lineup with Shami and Rashid Khan, and if Hardik Pandya is in bowling form, Lockie Ferguson. So I think that the top 11 seems to be more settled than a lot of people would have anticipated after the auction. And yeah, I mean, once you are in a winning streak, people will say, "Oh, you've got great bench strength. We've got great coach in Ashish Nair or whatnot." I think the test will be when they have a couple of losses, which will eventually, inevitably happen for them, and that's when it'll be tested whether how strong they are from their character perspective.
Absolutely. And before we go to the Super Saturday doubleheader, let's look at the points table, because it's getting to an interesting stage, Sanjay. So let's look at top 4. KKR, Gujarat Titans, Lucknow Super Giants, and Rajasthan Royals. Who would have thought before the 2022 start of IPL season these four will be top four after like almost second week, Sanjay.
Yeah, if you're a fan like me, all you would want is top four teams to be someone who has never won the IPL in the past. So that'll ensure that we have a new champion. But yeah, a lot of people wouldn't have thought that Gujarat would be where they are at this point. KKR, even them have performed really well. Lucknow Super Giants, they had a good team, but yeah, a couple of very good wins. And look at the bottom of the table. We got 10 championships. In fact, 11, I would say, if you include Deccan Charges, 11 at the bottom of the table. At least with tomorrow's game, one of Chennai or Sunrise will definitely open their account. So it is going to be at least some movement at the bottom as well. But yeah, fantastic for the tournament. All the games are pretty much going to the last over, so all the evenings are sorted for the next couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a team sitting pretty on number five, Sanjay. I personally feel they are the dark horses for 2022. Thoughts?
RCB have got a very good team. They've got a I think they've got one of the better bowling lineups for a long time, and they've won games with not necessarily a lot of the big guns firing. So Virat Kohli back in form is what they need. Faf done. See, once the team wins, the captain has to get some credit. So Faf's doing a very good job of the captaincy. He's holding the team up, and all the RCB fans, all they need is a few more wins up their sleeve, and eight or nine wins should do the job. Top four, but whether they can make it to the top two, which is what they missed out last time around, and something which most teams would want to do, because that just gives you the extra cushion to make it to the final. So yeah, they are definitely the dark horses. They've got the experience. They've got the bowling lineup. Whether they can execute and win those crunch games. There's one coming up on Tuesday against CSK. Is something which they'll definitely want to win. So lots to look forward to for them.
Yeah. And Vishaka, again, we were all part of the IPL Today auction, and we thought Gujarat's strategy was the most terrible. And as you rightly pointed out, egg on our faces, they are winning all in all.
Absolutely, you just have to look at some of the comments we had when Gujarati was picking, whether they're going to pick a wicket keeper, whether they're going to pick a bowler, whether Hardik Pandya is going to do all three jobs, he's going to do everything. But yeah, it has turned out very well so far. But they will have a blip at some point in time when they come up against some really strong batting lineup. So we will see what happens then. But yeah, great signs for them. All they have to do is just keep their composure, keep at it, not have any big losses, win the games which they should, and not lose any games too badly. And then they'll have great chance of making it to the top four.
Excellent. So that was today's game. Tiwatia, beers on Tiwatia today for everybody on a Friday night. So let's switch to Saturday. There are two games coming up, two crucial games for all for four teams. Sunrisers looking to open the account, fingers crossed. Chennai Super Kings trying to get off the board. So who do you think will win? What do you think will happen? Will Sunrisers ever win a game this season?
I'll back Sunrise. I think from Sunrise's perspective, they have to take two harsh calls. Probably one is, yes, they bought Abhishek Sharma for a lot of money, but he doesn't have to open. Get someone else to open, put him down the order, or get someone else in the team, because you need a good start. You've seen what Quinton de Kock, Shubman Gill, any team which has one good opener clicking, and Kane Williamson is not necessarily giving them good starts as well. So that's one thing which I would definitely do. I would get Washington Sundar maybe batting much higher the order. So Sunrisers, yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one for them. They did bank on Umran Malik and Abdul Samad. They retained them. Obviously, they let go of Rashid Khan, but that's in the past. They have to, try and work out with the existing resources how best they can. I think it'll be a good fight between CSK and Sunrisers. CSK probably look the weaker team to me at this point, although both have lost. They both have not registered any points. CSK, I think the problem for them, in my eyes, is who's the captain, who's running the show. Whether it's Jadeja, if Jadeja is running the show, he has to put his stamp or authority, or he's just a captain who's not necessarily a captain, and Dhoni still running the show, because that's what it feels like. But Chennai is Chennai are the champions. They've never lost 3 games in a row at the start of the tournament. So all Chennai fans would be hoping that tomorrow is the start of a good run for them, and they can get some points on the board.
Hmm. And do you expect any changes from Chennai, especially Vishak's looking for Hangegarkar tomorrow?
Yeah, Hunger Gaker. We did check out his Instagram profile at the time of the auction, and we did check out some of his batting exploits, and he's a decent build cricketer. I think he bowls well as well. So I don't know whether they'll give him an opportunity, but Shivam Dubey has done well for them. All I want is I think Jadeja one is to finish all four because I'm also looking from an Indian perspective. Jadeja is not going to bowl 4 overs regularly, and he's not going to bat in top five, top six. I can't see him. I can't see how he's making it to the Indian team because this is a great, test for everyone from an Indian perspective how they perform at the IPL. And if IPL is the benchmark, then you got say a finger spinner and Krunal Pandya was pretty much bowling 4 overs every game. A lot of the other finger spinners are bowling that. So if he's the captain, he's no longer has to be under the shadow of Dhoni. For his career himself, I think he should start bowling 4 overs and bowl the difficult ones as well. Try and bowl in the power play if required. Otherwise, I think CSK are relying too much on their top order to fire, and their bowling is sort of weak. Ruturaj Gaikwad not firing is another drawback for them. But yeah, I think their bowling is the major concern rather than the batting.
Yeah. And Twitter's going mental for Odain Smith. ESPN Cricket Info. A reminder. With 3 balls to go, Titans needed 13. Miller played it back to the bowler, Odain Smith, who gave away single overthrow, bringing Tiwatia on strike. Game
That's
of heart.
exactly Yeah, that's exactly what I mentioned right at the top as well, because those are the two unforced errors, so as to say. I mean, you can't sort of he was trying to bowl to the field, 2 6s, anyone can take, but that was an unforced error. Rabada bowling a no ball, a senior bowler bowling a no ball. Those are the two extra runs, and these are international cricketers, so you
Rabada
would
has reputation of bowling no ball, so I'm not
lots of
surprised.
no ball. Yeah.
Okay, let's switch to the biggie. A biggie second game Sunday, Saturday evening. Lot of alcohol will be flowing across Mumbai and Bangalore tomorrow, Sanjay.
Yeah, RCB Mumbai always draws a lot of attention. This one obviously is in Pune. Um, I think Mumbai Mumbai are looking a bit clueless, to be honest. Although they have some sparks of of young talent doing really well for them, but I think the RCB would really fancy their chances. This is their chance to beat Mumbai tomorrow, beat CSK on Tuesday, and then they'd probably be in the top two or top three. So they've got a great opportunity. Both these teams are not in great form, and RCB is doing reasonably well. So I would fancy RCB to go past Mumbai.
Excellent. So looking forward to it. We'll be back again tomorrow to do the double header after the second game. For the folks who have engaged, Syed, Vishak, Anil Jain, Johnny Paul, thank you very much. Sanjay, as usual, fantastic insights. And it was a great Friday for an IPL for Tiwatia. Thanks for joining in. And folks who are watching, if you like our content, click on that like button. Tell your family, friends to subscribe. And do post some comments. Tell us if you like something we're speaking. If you have a different opinion, we do read all comments and respond back. But up until tomorrow, speak to you later. And thanks for watching. See you, Sanjay.
Thank you, guys.